Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm sorry about all that lighting stuff. It's kind of weird. I'm down in my basement. So today is Tuesday, February 16th. First and foremost, if you plan on going anywhere today, be absolutely safe. I went to do my workout this morning and I got stuck in my driveway because of the snow drift. Most of my driveway was pretty shallow, so I felt comfortable driving through it. But living on State Street, I have the advantage of the snow plows covering my driveway, my entrance, and got stuck right in there. So be very careful. I know they're out and about and they're moving, they're putting salt out and everything, so that will eventually freeze and turn to ice. So just be absolutely careful. For those of you that are looking to make some extra money, uh, I remember when I was in middle school and high school, that's what we did is we went around with our shovels and we made extra money. So might be one of those days where you help your neighbors clear out their driveways, get the sidewalks cleared off, whatever you need to do. That is not an assignment. It's just a suggestion if you decide to go out and do something today. All right, let's focus on today's work. Obviously, it is a remote today, so I do not plan on having you with me during the scheduled class time. I'm just posting this video so you have a general rundown of what we're doing today or what I'm asking you to do today, and then just you manage your time and get it done. So it's expected that by the time I see you again on Thursday, that you will have this work completed. So let me start with just running through the list on Google Classroom. I have the fourth hour class open, but for fourth, fifth, and sixth hours, you're all going to be doing the same thing. So the list today, watch this video. You have this open, so continue watching it. You will begin No Red Ink skills related to agreements with nouns and pronouns. We're kind of in this agreement focus section of our curriculum right now. There will be a quiz on Friday, even though we're not having school today. There will be a quiz on Friday. We're going to continue with our schedule. After you complete some No Red Ink, then you're going to continue with new Study Sync work related to Amistad. I would suggest, if you have not heard about Amistad, do a little bit of research on your own. Do a Google search. If you wanted to watch the movie, you could watch the movie. It's a fantastic movie. It's super long, but it will give you all the details. And I'm telling you, it is a great piece of American uh, literature, American experience, American history that I believe that a lot of us have forgotten the details and how significant they are, which is one of the reasons why I love the fact that it's in our curriculum. So we're going to spend some time with Amistad. You are expected to complete the first read of the assignment. And I posted one of the skill sets, the reason and evidence. And I did that primarily because for both of them, there are some really good videos inside there. So make sure that you are watching the videos inside of StudySync. You will be expected to at least have a general knowledge of the information from those videos. Okay. And then finally, remember, whenever we do meet again together, whenever we're in the classroom, I will have my video camera set up and I will be recording the class for possible submission to the national board. So just be aware of that. I am in that season right now where pretty much every class I'm going to record with the intent of possibly using the material for national board. So be ready. It's part of the reason why I'm asking you to make sure that you are well prepared and you have a really good familiarity with the StudySync material. Okay, so let me be specific now. Let's go through No Red Ink. I'll show you the No Red Ink skills. You will look for the agreement with nouns and pronouns. I will always require you or expect of you to look at the notes first. Okay, so mine actually starts with using basic contractions and then moves on to collective nouns, tricky nouns, and indefinite pronouns. Okay, so make sure that you are clicking the lesson for each one of them. You want to know what the skill is, you want to know what the general rule is, and look at the examples that are given there. Do that always before you get into the practice so that whenever you get into the practice, you're at least familiar with what you're expected to do. Okay. That's the first one. The second one is agreement with collective nouns. Collective nouns, singular collective nouns, and then I think the next one deals with plural. Collective nouns such as group or team or town, those kinds of words that it's a singular form, but the understanding is that they are multiple, like there's multiple people inside there. So whenever I refer to the general class, like in my classroom, I'm referring to all of my students. So it's that concept that you're dealing with. The third lesson is tricky nouns, which deals with multiple parts. Um, I'm kind of reading through this too. I didn't read this before I opened this up. So just make sure you're familiar. Nouns with multiple parts and singular nouns that end in S, like news, mathematics, measles, civics. There's certain things you want to pay attention to that. It does sound a little bit weird with the S and then that singular form of the verb, but you want to stay consistent with um, your grammar rules. And then the final one is in agreement with indefinite pronouns, words that you don't know what the exact number is. Many times you're going to treat those as singular verbs with the agreement. And then if there's a plural indefinite pronoun, which you know for sure that there's at least two or more, then you're going to treat that with a plural verb. Okay, so that's the No Red Ink section of the work. When you get into Study Sync, again, I'm just showing like the 4th hour class, but all of your work is the same. The first read of Amistad, let me show you what it looks like here when I preview the assignment. I think maybe there we go. Sorry about the hesitation there. I wasn't for sure if that was going to work. I'm using Screencastify instead of Google Meets, so it operates a little differently, which is fine. So the intro, make sure you read through the intro. This is a legal case, okay? It's a legal document. This is considered one of those seminal documents that we pay attention to throughout your coursework in high school literature. Seminal documents means it's factual, it's actually what happened. In this case, it's a legal document about the Amistad, which is a ship coming from Spain, landed in the United States after the passengers, who were all African passengers, took over the ship, and they wanted the sailors to take them back to their homeland, but the sailors kind of tricked them, and they ended up in the United States at a time when slavery in the United States was still legal. So it becomes this real tricky conversation of, we have slavery in the United States, we have a slave ship that was bringing Africans, and they were transporting them, but found out that it was an illegal situation. And I'll leave the details to you guys, but just understand it's a significant piece, especially whenever you think about the writing assignment that I'm going to give you in the skills assignment here in just a little bit. Okay, so make sure, go ahead and watch that video. It's a good intro there. You will read the text. It actually has 2 different pieces here. The summary is fantastic. Remember, I always want to include the summary so there's no surprises. So read that paragraph for detail. Make sure you understand that. And then you read the context, the literal document here. Notice who it's from, John Quincy Adams. Okay, he was the one who was the defendant in the case. Okay, he was representing the men on the ship. And then there's also because it went to the Supreme Court, you got to pay attention to that too. It went to the Supreme Court, and they tried the case. And then one of the opinions of the Supreme Court justices, named Justice Joseph Story, he wrote a very interesting piece to the trial. Okay, so there's 2 separate pieces there. They are both connected to the same legal document. Okay, the legal process. The Study Sync TV, remember, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's really good conversation in there. There's also really cheesy information, their interactions with each other. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's good conversation inside there. And then I am going to ask you to go through the think questions. We will revisit those in class on Thursday. So if you don't get them all the way done, that's okay. We'll go through them fairly quickly. I would at least expect you to have a first draft of them, and then you can add to them whenever we talk about it in class. So that's the first assignment. And then the second assignment is the skills assignment, reasons and evidence. Of course, you're dealing with a court case, so it makes sense to talk about reasons for the arguments and then evidence to back up those arguments. And that's what this one's going to be about. So as you preview the assignment, remember there is another video inside here that I want you to watch. This opening video is pretty good. They actually talk about the case a little bit. And again, it's those actors posing as high school students. So take it for what it is. The model is good. Again, another video, good video. Watch it, have a good understanding. Give some terminology there. It talks about what a seminal document is. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to those things. That's important for your learning process. Um, get through all that. Answer the questions that are here. Again, 2 questions, but I added a writing assignment here. Really, it's not a full writing assignment. It's just you collecting some notes because I want to have a conversation. I think this would be a valuable conversation. In addition to what we have not covered for the Declaration of Independence. Remember, the last time we met, we had our modified fishbowl type of conversation, and I said that we were going to revisit that. I still want to, especially now that we have that last question I asked you has been completed, and we are now moving forward with the rest of our our new presidency, and the impeachment process is now over. So that last question was about the impeachment process and what your opinions, what your thoughts were. So we can continue to have that. But this one is a good conversation too. What I'm asking you to do is think about how this specific court case challenges or affirms your views about our forefathers' beliefs of inalienable rights, which was written in our Declaration of Independence, and life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The reason I'm interested in that is because we tend to lump our forefathers into a certain category, and we try to label them, and we um, I'll just leave it at that. We label them a certain way, but then we have court cases like this that may challenge or affirm some of our beliefs. Of course, you would have to get into all the details of the Amistad legal case for you to fully understand kind of where I'm going with this. But I want to see where you're going with this. I want to see what you're getting from this. So don't treat these assignments as gloss over and then move on. Treat these assignments as, hey, I'm gonna learn. I'm going to have good conversation with my peers, with Mr. Kimball, because it all does, in fact, relate to current cultural trends. I'm talking specifically of the cancel culture kind of mentality. Okay, so we'll tie all of that together. Having this kind of conversation, I think, will just open our eyes a little bit. Okay, guys and ladies, I'm going to let you go at that. It's really treat your class time as class time. Take the rest of the 55 minutes or so and get into work and get the things done that you need to get done. I hope to see you in class on Thursday. I'll talk to you later.